Hi, this is Joel Schumacher, and thanks for your interest in The Lost Boys. It's exciting for me to talk about it. This is the Pacific Ocean. You're about to see the boardwalk in Santa Cruz, California. And I really felt if you were a teenage vampire, you would definitely live in Santa Cruz, California at this time. Here's Kiefer at 18, Billy Wirth at 18, Brooke McCarter at 18. Alex was the youngest, so maybe he was just turning 18. So that be the Lost Boys. We had to change the name of the town from Santa Cruz to Santa Carla, which is a fictitious name. They didn't want to be known for teenage violence and wouldn't let us use the boardwalk unless we changed the name. Because, of course, they were trying to attract families and kids to the boardwalk.
You two, off the boardwalk.
This is kind of a great old merry-go-round. And it's a great boardwalk. You're going to see a lot more of it later. There it is. We didn't have a lot of time and a lot of money to make this movie. So one of the choices that I made was to really not show the vampires as vampires or that they could fly till the very end of the film. Because we couldn't afford any of those visual effects. We did everything in the film is done in camera, so it's really happening as you see it. There are only 2 green screen shots in the movie, and I'll point those out when we get to them. They're really at the end of the movie. But many times what you don't see is scarier than what you do see, and we were banking on that to sort of get you through this and create a mystery. Santa Cruz is a beautiful place, and we had a great time because, of course, we lived up there while we were filming.
Oh, how about this?
I don't see any boogeymen or nasty guys.
Michael Chapman was our cinematographer, and we were very, very lucky to get him. This is the man who, as far as I'm concerned, is a legend. He shot Taxi Driver and Raging Bull.
Manipulation.
2 extraordinary films on every level, but also shot beautifully.
Wait, that's from my
Here's the great Diane Wiest, one of my absolute favorite actresses. We were very lucky to have her. I think she had just won the Academy Award for Hannah and Her Sisters, and I thought she'd turn us down.
Ocean air.
Smells like someone died.
Aw, honey, look, guys, I know the last year hasn't been easy, but I think you're really gonna like living in Santa Carla.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women sing with
These are all the real kids on the street that you're seeing.
streets uneven when you're down, when you're straight.
Obviously more of the boardwalk.
Faces come out of the rain when you're strange. No one remembers your name when you're strange. When you're strange. When you're strange.
I felt that the Lost Boys would be big Doors fans, because the Doors, to me, had the perfect combination of nihilism and sultry sexuality and poetry. And it always seemed that Jim Morrison and his lyrics was haunted by death. And I called the great Ray Manzarek, who was the famous keyboard player for The Doors, and asked him if he would be willing to re-record People Are Strange with Echo and the Bunnymen, because I knew he was producing them, and I was a big fan of Echo and the Bunnymen then, as I am a big fan of The Doors to this day. And so Ray, who's a great guy, was kind enough to do it.
When you're strange, when you're strange, yeah.
The credits here are to give you a real sense of the town that Jason and Diane and Corey are moving to, and give you a flavor of the Santa Cruz kind of, boardwalk life, and how many interesting and unusual young people there were hanging out in Santa Cruz. And that also they would seem like fish out of water, and that there was a whole world going on there that they were not part of. Bo Welsh is quite young at the time. He had been an art director for a friend of mine. He's just absolutely brilliant and did a great job as a production designer on a shoestring budget. This location is a very interesting old lodge. It's called the Pogo Nip, and I think it's a lodge for meetings and for people who hunt. The inside of it is a set that Bo built,
Dad?
which we're going to see very shortly.
Dad?
Looks like he's dead.
No, he's just a deep sleeper.
This is the great Barnard
Can we
Hughes,
go back to Phoenix?
another fantastic
Way
actor
dead.
we were really lucky to
And
get.
from what I heard, doing a damn good job of it.
I know
too.
a lot of people
Dad!
love this character that he played, and he played it to the hilt. This is a set that Bo built at Warner Brothers, but it's a great set, and as you see, you really feel you're in that environment.
There's no TV. Have you seen a TV? I haven't seen a TV, Mike. You know what it means when there's no
Corey Haim is 13.
TV.
He had done a small, touching film called Lucas.
Lucy, you're the only woman
He's
I
just
ever knew
brilliant
who
in this
could prove a
movie. I mean, he
situation
added
like
so
it.
much life and zest and humor, and he's so alive and electric in it. It was a pleasure to watch him work.
No, Dad, we've all been through enough.
He's so naturally talented.
Anyway, I was raised better than that.
Hey, ouch! My hair.
Mom, you gonna help me?
Soon!
Jason Patrick didn't want to do Lost Boys. He was afraid it would be an exploitation movie, and it took me and his
Talk about the
manager,
Texas
Dolores
Chainsaw
Robinson, about 6 weeks to talk him into it. But
Rules. We got
truthfully,
rules.
there was absolutely no young actor that I met at the age of 18 with his looks and his talent. And I'm sure you've seen other films with Jason where he's done some extraordinary performances. But I was very lucky to get him. And Jason has a wonderful paternal big brother quality, and I think he really embraced Corey Haim, and they became good friends, and Jason really looked out for him and became a big brother to him, off the set as well as on the set.
Hell of a population problem.
Great, Dad.
Now, on Wednesdays, when the mailman brings a TV guide, sometimes the address label is curled up just a little like that. Now, you'll be tempted to tear it off. Don't.
Jeff Boehm
Only wind up ripping the cover.
wrote a lot of this script.
And stay out of here.
Wait. You have a TV?
No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. You don't need a TV.
One of the things that's incredible about this movie is because it was basically a teenage vampire movie, but we got all these extraordinary people like Michael Chapman on camera, like Thomas Newman to write the score, like Barnard Hughes and Diane Wiest. It elevated the movie incredibly. This is Tim Capella. He was Tina Turner's sax player at the time. This is one of my favorite things I've ever done. I love Jamie Gertz's entrance here. I don't know what else to say about Jamie Gertz except this is Jamie Gertz at 18. She was Jason's idea. I think Jason had a big crush on her. And I was looking for a little blonde waif to play this part, and Jason kept saying, Jamie Gertz, Jamie Gertz, Jamie Gertz, and finally I met her, and he was right. It should be Jamie Gertz. Jamie is from Chicago, and truly one of the, I mean, besides her beauty and talent, one of the loveliest young women in the world. This is a song by The Call, and I love this song. It's really an anthem. Tim did push-ups and lifted barbells between takes, so he would look perfect. Of course, because the film is called The Lost Boys and it deals with missing children, you know, there was an attempt on my part to always keep that theme going for you. Edward Herrmann I had seen on the stage many times in New York and also in a few films. And I needed someone to play Max who was really comfortable and
this little boy is lost. And
that you would feel is kind of a nice guy.
Oh, how
And so then he can make the switch later on. And of course, he's a great character actor and can do anything from the wackiest comedies in the world to very serious tragedy.
Well done.
No, thanks. Well, second thought.
I told you not to come in here anymore.
You'll probably realize as you watch this that Kiefer has the least dialogue of any of the principals in the film. And his screen presence at 18 is just extraordinary.
They're just young. We were that age too once.
I saw Kiefer in a film called At Close Range, where his part actually, he told me, was cut out, but he's in one shot at the end. And when I saw the close-up in the movie theater I was seeing it in,
Hi, Thorne.
I said to my friends,
Well, how may I help you this evening?
who's that kid? And they didn't know, and I brought him in, and that was Kiefer, and I was very lucky to get him also.
What I need is...
This is amazing for me to be sitting here talking about this because this was my fourth film. And I just finished filming my 19th. And I didn't know there was going to be a fifth film. There was a lot of confusion at Warner Brothers about what I was making, and a lot of the executives didn't understand if I was making a comedy or a horror movie, and I kept saying yes, and they really believed sincerely that the two genres couldn't work together. Susan Becker did our costumes, and the choice we made with Corey was he was going to be this fashion victim mall kid who was suddenly transposed into, for him, a rural setting. Here is Corey Feldman at 13. Corey had done Goonies by then and a couple of other films. That's Jamie Newlander, also a wonderful young actor.
Just scope in your civilian wardrobe. Pretty cool, huh?
For a fashion victim.
The Frog Brothers
Listen,
are
buddy,
just
if you're looking
gods
for
in
the
my
diet
house. I
frozen
mean,
yogurt
they're
bar
just
went out of business last summer.
they're just great.
Actually, I'm looking for a Batman number 14. That's a very serious book.
This is a real comic book store that existed in Santa Cruz then. I don't know if it does any longer. Of course, it's been lit by the great Michael Chapman, but This was a very
Can't
interesting
with the
store.
Superman, number 77s with the
The two
200s.
gentlemen that owned it
They
were
haven't even
wonderful
discovered
help
red
to
kryptonite
us,
yet.
and we had a lot of
you can't with
fun.
the number 98s with
It was
the
also great.
300s.
We created our
Where
own
the Mars
vampire
hasn't
comic
even
books, and
been
that was fun
introduced.
because I think
Where the hell
that,
are you from?
I don't know,
Krypton?
maybe a lot of us
But
want to
lucky
create comic
we
books at
moved.
one point in our youth, and we got to do it. The three 13-year-olds really become the heroes of the film and the fearless vampire stalkers.
this one, this
And it was a lot of fun putting them together. You can imagine how many young people we met for all these parts before we made the choices. Marion Doherty did the casting. The original writers were Janice Fisher and James Jeremias, and they did a wonderful job of kind of creating this alternate world to Peter Pan, which of course the Lost Boys come from. And they really introduced the domestic situation and the mom and the brothers. It was all just much, much younger, and it was G-rated, which I'm sure they were led to do. Jeff Boehm had been hired by Dick Donner after them. When I was hired, Jeff Boehm was the writer. When this script was offered to me, it was really about 8 or 9-year-olds, and there was no star was a boy actually, not a girl, and it was kind of a G-rated movie. I don't really do those kind of movies. It's not my favorite kind of movies. I suggested to the studio that we could, make them teenagers and make it a much, well, hopefully sexy movie as well as some humor. Always fun to rip the top off a car. Gotta have the beautiful blonde with the great body screaming in a horror movie. Tradition.
Well, how do you like that baby, huh?
This is a great old car.
Get in.
Wait, can I drive on the way back?
Yeah, fat chance. Nobody drives this baby but me. Got a little warm
Because
up?
there have been so many vampire movies done before,
Just like a baby
since actually the beginning of film, because it started in silent films with Nosferatu, and the vampire legends were so rampant. The real job here,
Well, we haven't
I
found a
felt,
lot.
was to give the audience a vampire movie
Close to town,
that
so
stuck
that
to
might
the
be-
rules. You have to have rules. I know that there are a huge cult of vampire lovers out there and vampire followers, and to keep as much to the rules of the vampire world that I read up on, but try to reinvent it if we could, so that it was close enough to the rules to satisfy vampire lovers, but also fresh enough, which
Notice
gave them a new take on it.
Unusual.
And of course,
about
having
Santa
all these
Carla yet?
talented young
No.
people
It's a pretty good
helps a
place.
lot.
If you're a Martian,
Or a vampire.
are you guys sniffing on newsprint or something?
You think you really know what's happening around here, don't you? Well, I'll tell you something. You don't
I
know
told the
shit.
Frog Brothers, Corey and Jamie, that
think we
they
just
were,
work in a comic book
G.I.
store
Joes. They were
for our
commandos. They were
Actually, I thought it was
Marines. And
Just our cover.
they had no humor about any of this.
a higher
They actually are right, too, because they're the people who know there are vampires in Santa Carla. So, as crazy as they may seem, they actually, of course, turn out to
Hey,
be
man.
right.
Read this.
I told you, I don't like horror comics.
Think of it more as a survival manual. There's a number on the back. And pray.
It was a great pleasure watching and working with these three young actors, because a lot of
To call you.
what they're doing
Sure.
is their own invention. Any director who tells you that they created performances in people is lying to you. People either have talent or they don't. They either understand humor or they don't. They either get the joke or they don't.
Excuse me.
All right, it won't hurt. It won't.
One of the things I realized was, I think one of the reasons vampires have an enduring quality is they're the only monsters that are really sexy. Because if you think about the werewolf and Frankenstein and the mummy and, I don't know, whoever your favorite monster is, Godzilla,
Star's great. I like Star.
they're not very kissable.
I'm Michael.
Michael's great. I like Michael.
Vampires can be sultry and sexy and also have great intimacy because, of course, there's an exchange of body fluids, etc.
Where you going, Star?
I felt in reading Bram Stoker's Dracula, where he presents Dracula as a count in evening clothes who can appear at the beautiful damsel's window and then systematically drain fluid from her body over a succession of nights until she surrenders to him. I felt that this was a veiled way of doing oral sex at a time when you couldn't write about those things in books. This is my take on it. I don't know what other people might think. Riding motorcycles on the sand can be pretty dangerous. Kiefer was a big bike rider in those days. He had his own motorcycle, and probably today I would have to put helmets on everyone. It would probably be, it would be considered politically incorrect, and the studio would be criticized, but fortunately, when I shot this just wouldn't look as cool if they had their helmets on. But I'm a big believer in helmets, having had several friends who've had motorcycle accidents, and helmets do save lives. This is Lou Gramm, famous lead singer of Foreigner. He was kind enough to do the Lost Boys song for us. A wonderful person. A lot of great talent came and worked on the music. In Excess gave us 2 great songs. They were really at the top of the charts at that moment, and we were an unknown entity, and I always said to the guys that I really owed them a favor. And then they called it in, and I had the pleasure of doing the Devil Inside video for them for their Kick album, which was their next album, which was a great pleasure.
What the hell are you doing, huh? No! Just you! Come on! Just you! Come on. Just you.
Kiefer's just so confident and so
How far are you willing to go, Michael?
assured of who he's playing and why he's there. Alex Winter, with the golden curls, he of course went on to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and now is a director and doing very well.
Not bad, huh? This was the
Brooke, I have not seen. Brooke was the tall blonde who's marching around
In 1906,
on the fountain right
one
there.
in San Francisco. The ground opened up. This place took a header.
At the last minute, a lot of money was taken out of our budget because the trade-off was, well, Joel, if you want to make this with unknown actors, you have to make it for less money. So we didn't have enough money to build this set. What Bo Welsh did ingeniously was he just built flats. So this really isn't a full room. It's just flats that we move around all the time. And it worked perfectly. I just thought it was a genius concept.
You like it here, Michael?
10 o'clock. o'clock, lights out.
There's Rob Lowe. I had just done St. Elmo's Fire with Rob Lowe, one of my favorite people, and he was a huge teen heartthrob then. So of course I couldn't resist putting his shameless photo on the closet door. And there's the great Molly Ringwald. Breakfast Club had come out, and I think maybe one other of John Hughes' great teen movies in Molly Ringwald. And I felt, of course, Corey would be into the trends of the day.
Brought you something to dress up your room with, Sam. How do you like that, huh?
Thanks, Grandpa.
Oh, Dad, really, you shouldn't have.
Yeah. That's more where he come from. Night, Sam.
Good night, Grandpa.
Lights out.
You've probably seen Diane Wiest in many other films.
Okay.
Edward Scissorhand and Birdcage, and she was most recently on Law and Order. She played the district attorney for a few seasons.
Your history, buddy.
Diane is not only a person of enormous talent, but she's one of the finest human beings I've ever worked with, ever known. Sensitive, kind. I think she's adopted 2 children since this film.
Chinese.
A lot of people who are fans of Lost Boys, of course,
Yes, first.
love this scene.
You don't like rice? Tell me, Michael, how could a billion Chinese people be wrong?
This scene was the concept of my friend Jeff Boehm, who died recently and prematurely.
How are those
Still a
maggots?
young man who was very gifted.
Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How do they taste?
And this was a fun scene to shoot, too. Now, let me tell you about maggots. If you're ever shooting a scene with maggots, they just lie there. And in order to get them to be lively, you squeeze lemon on them, and they all go crazy and they move. This is a little tip from the maggot wranglers, because if you have maggots, you have maggot wranglers. Soon come the worms. And if you don't need a rice wrangler, but soon we will have worms, and when you have worms, you need the worm wrangler.
Why don't you try some noodles?
And the way you get the worms to, you know it now, lemon. So I know sometimes film students or people who are going to make their own films watch our commentaries to find out how we've done certain things. So now you know, lemon.
That's enough.
In order to get this white light over Kiefer, film lighting was not as sophisticated as it is now, in the sense that we didn't have a lot of xenons, we didn't have a lot of the technical easiness that it is to shoot certain things. In order to get the white light over Kiefer, Michael Chapman had to have a huge arc light. You've seen them, those huge lights. He had to have it turned so that it's sitting right above him. He did a lot of really inventive things, because as I said before, we didn't have a lot of money or time. Also, when you work with young people, especially the 13-year-olds and Chance, who plays the littlest vampire, Laddie, Chance Corbett, you only have a few hours to work with them because they have to go to school. Here's Chance with Billy.
Michael.
Don't. You don't have to, Michael.
Michael.
It's blood.
Now, this sequence, which I can't remember because it's so long ago, exactly how many images are combined here?
You're right, Michael. Michael.
But actually, MTV came out in the mid-'80s, and this film was shot in 1986. Music videos educated a whole new generation to surreal images and non sequitur storytelling. A lot of the things we did in this movie would have seemed too odd to people before MTV, actually. And that gave us a lot of license to play with things. The way Kiefer is done here with the flames, he's actually standing on a little turntable which is attached to the camera with a flame bar underneath him. As I said before, I know there are a lot of people who are really interested in how films are made.
Perfect timing.
This sequence is actually the reason why I did this movie. Because when I read it, I hadn't seen it in a movie before, and I thought if we could do it properly. Now, we shot this in Chatsworth. Now, actually, this small train bridge that the boys are on is actually only a few feet from the ground.
Good night, Michael.
Bombs away!
Bottoms up.
But the fog was added by the young guys at Dream Quest, who did it, and also we had very little money for any effects, and that was one of them, to make this seem like this chasm went on forever. But actually, where the boys are hanging, they could probably even jump down.
Michael Emerson! Come on down!
Then part of this was a very small section where they're hanging now. When you see their close-ups, that's just a very small section that we put on a soundstage at Warner Brothers. We filled the soundstage with fog and just put this little section of bridge so the guys could safely hang on it. They're wired, of course, so they can't fall. But as I said, I'd never seen this sequence in a film before, and I thought it would be really fun to shoot. So in reality, the boys are only dropping a few feet. But on the soundstage, they're at the top of the soundstage, so it was quite dangerous. And when they dropped, I had to use stunt guys for that because they drop, and you know how large a soundstage is and how tall the ceiling is. For those of you who don't know, they build a whole room of empty cardboard boxes so that when the stuntmen fall, they're going through layers and layers of cardboard boxes which break the fall. Now, actually, behind us is Magic Mountain, so we had to be very careful to shoot this so that you don't see Magic Mountain. It would have ruined the illusion. This is slow motion, which ramps right into natural speed as Corey enters the room.
Mike! Wake up! It's Mom.
Mom's home.
No, on the phone, Mike.
What time is it?
It's 2 o'clock.
Jason is
Give me those sunglasses.
a highly
Talk on the phone. Are you free?
intelligent,
Inquiring minds wanna know.
extremely thoughtful actor.
Hello?
Michael, are you still in bed?
No.
I don't know if you saw Narc
Michael,
or
would
Rush,
you do me a favor?
which are two of his
Max asked me to go
greatest
to dinner with him
performances,
after
I
work tonight.
think.
Would you stay home with Sam?
But,
Sam is old enough to stay
you
by
know,
himself
he's
right now.
Hey, I don't need
a
to
true
do this
actor
anymore.
from the inside out.
Michael, you know, you come home in the middle of
He's
the night, you sleep all day.
approaches it from a profound way, and even at 18,
You know, it's been a long time.
he just
since
had,
somebody
it's
asked me to go
just
to
a
dinner.
gift.
I'd like to
As
go.
Miss Piggy once said on national television, some pigs got it and some pigs don't.
Thanks, honey. It's a real favor.
Bye-bye.
A lot of this was to
Anything around
use,
here that might pass for
oh,
aftershave?
things, rustic things that might seem quite charming
Some Windex, Grandpa.
and interesting if you saw them in a rural setting, but to always make them look a little ominous, and that there was something going on in this town that we've created, Santa Carla, where there's weird stuff going on all the time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop by some of my handiwork to the widow Johnson.
What'd you stuff for her, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, well, I'll see you two guys later.
It wasn't funny, Mike. I'm gonna make you sound.
Corey was from Canada,
No bother.
and
Who's hearing, Michael? It's not you. It's definitely.
lives in Canada still.
No, all you do is give attitude lately. You watching too much Dynasty, bud?
These dogs are so beautiful, and very easy to work with too. They're beautifully trained dogs. There were two of them. I don't know if they were brothers or not. This, of course, is a simple trick if you're interested. I mean, they're on a set, and there's just a wonderful electrician running around the windows of the set with a light, and it's all done with smoke and mirrors. You know, it's music, sound effects, but it's really good actors. That's what really makes it, because they carry the emotion.
Go take your bath.
One of the reasons I wanted Jason so much for this part, obviously he's extraordinarily handsome, but as you know, there are a lot of good-looking people who are young actors and actresses, but he had a depth and a brooding internal quality way beyond his years. I'm sure you'll understand when I say that there are some people you meet who are very young, but they seem to have an old soul, and Jason seemed to be wise way beyond his years. Same with Kiefer. This is Clarence Frogman Henry's song, which is from the old early days of rhythm and blues. And I always thought it was a funny song, and it worked for this scene. But it's Corey that makes it work. I mean, you know, he has a very infectious personality, and he's enjoying himself too. Most young people, as children, are used to pretending. So when you work with young actors, pretense is very close to where they live, because they're used to acting out movies they've seen. Animals, of course, would always be the first to sense a vampire and danger. Because as we know, animals are smarter than we are. We use two dogs. There's one who's very sweet and benign, and then the other dog is trained to do what you just saw, not only the leap, but to do the snarling. It's not always wise to have one dog who can do all those things, because you don't want them to snarl or take a bite out of the actors if they're doing the fun scenes.
Mike? Michael, you there? Nanook? Michael? Mike, what happened?
Nanook.
What about Nanook? What'd you do to my dog, you asshole?
Nothing. I didn't hurt him. He bit me. This is my blood.
Why'd he bite you, Mike? Huh? What'd you do to him?
I'm just letting this play without talking because I like this scene so much. And they're both so great in it.
He's protecting you.
Look at your reflection in the mirror. You're creature of the night, Michael. Just like out of a comic book. You're a vampire, Michael. My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy.
Just the combination of, I think is the essence of this film, which is, you're a shit-sucking vampire, and I wait till I tell Mom. So we always tried to bring it back to some kind of ludicrous reality. So as you can tell, we didn't take ourselves that seriously. But I believe that you have to give the audience the courtesy to know that the audience is just as smart as the filmmakers, and many times smarter.
You did the right thing by calling us. Does your brother sleep a lot?
Yeah, all day.
Does the sunlight freak him out?
He wears sunglasses in the house.
Bad breath, long fingernails.
Yeah, his fingernails are all a bit longer. He always had bad breath, though.
He's a vampire, all right.
All right, here's what you do. Get yourself a good sharp stake and drive it right through his heart.
I can't do that. He's my brother.
Okay, we'll come over and do it for you.
No!
You better get yourself a garlic t-shirt, buddy, or it's your funeral.
Jason is on a crane, a kind of platform, a small crane that's just lifting him up to the ceiling. Now, of course, he's strapped to the ceiling. And now he's on wires.
Hello?
Sam, is everything all right?
Mom, I think we have to have a real long talk about something.
Mom? Sam, I'm starting to get worried. Mom?
So the exterior was shot in Santa Cruz, and the interior is the set. So it's just a combination
Mom, I can't talk
of trying to think ahead when you're on location and shoot the shots you need outside to make the inside work.
He's gonna get me! Oh my God! Sam! He's gonna kill me!
Honey, I'm coming. Tell him I'm coming. No, Mom!
But whatever hard work and talent, all of those wonderful heads of the departments I had, it's really the actors that make these scenes work, because it's all about them. And it's how they deliver these lines and how they
Sammy, help
express themselves.
Help me! Sammy, open the window! Never! I knew it! I am not! So what are you? The flying nun? I'm your brother, Sammy! Help me! Sammy, open up!
The concept that the vampire can fly, of course, comes from bats.
Please.
And I'm sure some of you that are listening to this know a lot of the history of the Dracula legend and the vampire legends. But in case you don't, it's considered to be based on Vlad the Impaler,
I don't know, Mike.
who
It's
was
not
a
like you're in school or
Transylvanian
something,
warlord.
We're gonna work this out. I'm gonna work this out.
He
Trust me, okay, Sam?
supposedly killed his enemies, put their heads on poles, and drank their blood. And this was a very common legend at one point.
Sam, are you all right?
It's usually commonly, felt that
Okay, Mom, I was reading a horror
Count
comic,
Dracula
and I
is based
started
on
something
him.
my window, but I guess I just got a little carried away.
Whether he actually drank blood or not, we
Carried
don't
away by
know.
a comic book?
It was a scary comic, Mom. I'm sorry.
There also was
You know,
a countess
had it
called
with
the
the
Blood
both of you.
Countess, and
know
she
that?
supposedly lured,
what is this mess?
I don't know, she was heartless and cruel, and I can't remember her name.
Don't even bother to clean it up.
I think it's Elizabeth, something or other. And she was also from somewhere in the Balkans.
You know, it's not fair.
And she had a huge castle and would lure,
Where's Michael?
I think she was very interested in women. And she would lure young virgins and young women in, and she would torture them and drink their blood. There have been several books written about her. One is called The Blood Countess. And as you probably know, there are people who feel today that they are vampires and do exchange blood and drink blood. And
Mom?
there are
Let's
certain
sleep in
clubs,
Murphy's
some
tonight.
underground clubs,
Here?
where people who feel they are
Fine. It's no
vampires
scary comic, that's
and
all.
live
Do you mind?
that lifestyle. You know, they usually dress a certain way and have a certain mindset.
No. Why?
Woo, you smell like garlic.
I think Anne Rice's books definitely have, re-energized and recharged people about vampires. I particularly think Interview with the Vampire is one of the best vampire books ever written. A personal favorite of mine. So, of course, I'm always trying to present Ed Herman here as the nice guy, and maybe even in jeopardy, so that you,
Hello, Thorne.
I'm hoping to surprise you at the end. I never thought that almost 20 years after we made this, that it would still be so popular. And it's such an honor to hear from so many people all the time. I still get mail on Lost Boys. I get asked questions about it by the press all the time. It was an extraordinary film for me because it opened doors in Hollywood that had been closed. And I met some of the people that are still friends and co-workers today, many powerful people in the industry, and the movie really
What's happening to me, Star?
struck a chord with them, and I got many offers and many opportunities because of Lost Boys. So this was really wonderful, and I'm so thankful to Dick Donner and Mark Canton and Bruce Berman and Warner Brothers that they thought of me to do it. And when I think that I almost said no, well, was gonna say no, but because it was all, they were kids. It kind of felt like Cub Scouts go vampire. In fact, the Frog Brothers were two rotund 8-year-old Cub Scouts, and certainly didn't have this scene in it. Well, I don't think I have to tell any of you, filming beautiful young people kissing is not the hardest job in the world. This is Palos Verdes. So what you're seeing is a helicopter shot which goes to the black hole. Then there's a quick dissolve into the cave, which is a set. A Steadicam operator runs down a tunnel and then jumps onto a crane which swept out across the cave. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you. I hope it does, but it was a fun shot to do and done in pieces. Because vampires do not die, we decided that their wounds would heal very rapidly. So there's kind of this, also this rebellious teenage angst story going on at the same time.
Sure. Does that mean,
One of the reasons I wanted Diane Wiest was besides the fact that I'm a huge fan, is besides being a great actress,
Michael, take off your
I think you're immediately drawn to her and feel compassion for her. There's a kindness, but also she has this rare ability to make anything sound real. So if she's going to talk about vampires or going to talk about fantasy, she makes it real because
things I wouldn't understand.
I think the sincerity that she embodies really shows in everything she does.
Hey. Looks like I wasn't the only one got lucky last night, huh?
Well, also, having a horny old reprobate grandfather is always fun. More beautiful Santa Cruz. That's one of those great International Harvester Scout
What's the wine for?
trucks.
My apology to Max for running out on him last night.
That was Bo
Which
Welch's
young man
idea.
You should be making.
Mom.
Honey, I better bring this up to the house or somebody's just gonna take it.
All right, I'll be here.
So part of certain vampire lore is that these dogs protect the vampires during the daytime.
So then the dogs started chasing my mom like the hounds of hell and vampires everywhere.
We've been aware of some very serious vampire activity in this town for a long time.
Santa Carla's become a haven for the undead.
As a matter of fact,
My heroes.
almost certain that ghoul
Coming up, another one of my favorite lines.
City Hall.
Kill you, brother. You'll feel better.
That's it.
Look, guys, my brother's not a bloodsucker. Look, it says here that if you kill the head vampire, all half vampires will return to normal. Guys, if my brother's a vampire, believe me, he's only half.
Does your brother know who the head vampire is?
No, I don't think so.
Then you'll have to kill him. And if you don't, then we will.
This all started when my mom went to work at Max's video store.
Okay.
Max never comes.
Here's where the 13-year-old
The dog who chased my
figures
mom
out the whole plot,
Here, listen
and
to
he's
this.
right.
Vampires require a daytime protector, a guardian.
He figures out
Watch
it's
over them as they
Max.
sleep. Fierce dogs. The hounds of hell are often employed for this purpose.
No shit.
Yeah, well, what happens if my mom is dating the head vampire? You guys can nail him and save Santa Carla. Truth, justice, the American way triumphs. Thanks to you two.
We'll check out Max.
So then, of course, because the 13-year-old has figured out the whole plot, by the middle of the movie, we now have to turn it on you so that you don't think that's true.
Sam.
Hey, Hey, smells good. When do we eat?
I told Max 8 o'clock.
Max, are we gonna have company again?
Again? Dad, you haven't had company in this house since Mom died 8 years ago.
Right. Now we're gonna have company again.
Michael, Max is coming to dinner. I'd like you to meet him.
I can't. I have plans.
Oh, Michael.
Jason's definitely tortured
You know,
here.
things are going to change around this house when school starts.
So here's some other vampire lore
You must be Michael, right?
where Edward
And you must.
forces
Right.
Michael to invite him in. Very important.
Well, you're the man of the house, and I'm not coming in until you invite me.
You're invited.
Thanks very much. Hello.
Oh, hi. I didn't hear you come in.
Is it all right for the guests to see the food before dinner?
Oh, no, you're thinking of the groom not seeing the bride before the wedding.
Oh, yeah, I always get those confused. Thorne sends his apologies.
Oh, well, tell him I'm walking again.
He promises to behave if you come back.
So, you know, the struggle was to constantly keep it dark enough and light enough at the same time so that you would
These are my
feel
dinner guests.
a balance
Edgar
of
and Alan, the
entertainment. That was what we were trying
Oh,
to
I didn't know you
do
were
all the
having
time,
this.
and I hope
Well, Mom, you know, for any
on
way,
some
we can
level
go eat some peanut butter.
we
and
made
butter
that
in the
work
kitchen.
for you.
No, there's plenty for everybody. Max, this is my son, Sam, and Edgar and Alan.
I don't mean to sound arrogant if I say that what's coming up is one of my favorite scenes, because the actors do this great job with it. So,
Boy,
you know,
somebody around here.
when I say it's one of my favorite scenes, I don't mean that I think I'm hot stuff. I mean, they all, I think, did a great scene.
No. Would you quit breathing on me?
No, get upstairs. Go on. You want some Parmesan cheese on that?
Yeah, Sam, thank you very much.
Sam grated the cheese himself.
Ah.
My son.
Another budding chef.
So there's so many things going here, which is, first, you know, they're testing him to see if he's a vampire.
Are you all right?
That they're screwing up Mom's date.
Garlic.
I bet you hate garlic, don't you?
No, I like garlic. It's just a little much. It's raw garlic.
Garlic? How did that happen?
Guys, you guys.
That their trick isn't working, their test.
Sam, what's the matter with you?
Does it burn?
Burn? What are you, nuts?
So these are all famous
Freezing.
Oh, look at your
vampire thing. You know, the garlic is supposed to do one thing, the water is supposed to make you burn.
Now what?
Now, you're not supposed to be able to see a reflection in a mirror, which you saw earlier with Jason.
Ah!
Sam, what has gotten into you tonight?
I think I know what's going on around here tonight.
You do?
Yeah. I know what you're thinking, Sam, but you're wrong.
I am?
Yeah. I'm not trying to replace your father or steal your mother away from you. I would just like to be...
So hopefully, we fooled the audience into thinking it isn't Max at this point.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Max,
I know that since the movie's been out
Major mistake.
in 1987, that maybe some of you have seen it already, so you know what's going to happen. So that's why
I don't know
I'm telling
what
you
got into him. He's not like that.
all this stuff, so I assume it's not
Otherwise, they
ruining this extraordinary plot for you.
protecting mother. Listen, let's try it once more. Dinner, my house, tomorrow night.
And of course, there's always been people that think that Grandpa is the head vampire. This scene was shot long lens in the middle of the night. Michael Chapman and I are on a crane way out by the water, and it's freezing cold. And this was very early in the shooting. It's the first time I think the Lost Boys worked together in the movie. It was when I thought to myself, oh, wait a minute, vampires only come out at night. I choreographed the scene to Run DMC doing Walk This Way because I thought it would be interesting to do a horror sequence with action and violence to Run DMC's version of Walk This Way. I was lucky that we were able to get it. All the people that contributed music to this film were extraordinary because really nobody knew what we were making, and I guess in many ways we didn't know what we were making. This is a set at Warner Brothers. Bo found this phenomenal tree, put it on the set. Here are my surf punks.
Over here.
For those of you who may not know, there are surf punks. My beach, my wave. They kick people's butts who dared to go near their beach. And of course, they had been terrorizing earlier in the movie. They even stole comic books from the Frog Brothers, so they must be punished. This is the first time you see the Lost Boys as vampires. We had many, 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 many meetings about how to do the vampire makeup. The movie was being shot at a time where there were tons of movies with a lot of prosthetics out. I felt it all just looked like a lot of prosthetics piled on someone's face sometimes. And I wanted them not only to retain a certain sexuality, but that they still looked like themselves as vampires. So one of the things that helped with this was someone told me that Spencer Tracy, when he did Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, did not wear any makeup. He just acted the two different roles. And at the same time, I saw a Jekyll and Hyde with Jack Palance that was done for television, and he wore very little makeup and prosthetics. So Greg Cannon, our great special effects makeup guy, and V. Neal, our Academy Award winning, one of my favorite shots then, we fit into a skinhead's head. But anyway, V. Neal and Greg Cannon designed this makeup, and it's pretty close to the boys' own faces, and I like that because I think what's familiar is much scarier than to when somebody turns into something that's too alien. Kiefer has reminded me many times. This walk up this hill and him saying this line, I made him do it 100 times. I didn't think it was coming out right. And of course, it was perfect by take two. I don't know what I was looking for, but I have to tell you, I was new at this. I was new at directing.
But you must feed.
So this is another attempt to keep the humor going along with the seriousness of the movie. So there's there's a whole different tone to what Corey Haim is doing than to what Jason and Jamie are doing.
I know who I am now, Sam. Don't kill me, Mike. I'm basically a good kid, so just don't kill me. I can help you. Just tell me who the head vampire is. I thought it was Max, but I was wrong. Just work with me, and I can help you. You'll be okay.
Michael! Michael!
It's that girl from the boardwalk. Is she one of them?
I have to talk to you. Can I come up?
No! You shut the window and lock your door. She's one of them! And don't tell me it doesn't make her a bad person, Mike. You know where David took me tonight, don't you, Star? Who's David?
Yes, it's my fault. If you hadn't met me, if I hadn't liked you, I tried to warn you.
It was that night in the cave, wasn't it? That wasn't wine they gave me to drink. It was blood. That was David's blood.
You know, this stuff is very hard to act. It really is. And I got to give credit to these wonderful, extraordinary young people.
We're not one of them.
Until you make your first kill. Why didn't you kill me last night?
You're supposed to be my first. It's what David wanted. But I couldn't, Michael.
Why? Because you care so much about me?
Yes, I do.
So what are you doing here? What do you want from me?
I wanted to tell you that it's not too late for you. But for me, it gets harder and harder to resist. I'm weak.
Why did you come here tonight, Star?
I was hoping you'd have Lanny and
I really feel that one of the reasons that I have the career I have is because I've been so blessed to have these extraordinary casts in all my films.
Star! Don't kill anybody until we get back to you!
What are you doing?
I got connections.
I love actors, and I have some friends who are directors who really don't like actors very much, and I really don't know how they go to work, because it's kind of like being a painter and hating the smell of paint. I mean, I don't know.
They're here!
I don't know how you do it. And really, you know, fine actors, and you're seeing a whole bunch of them, they can make any preposterous, ridiculous thing work. This is in Palos Verdes. If you've never been there, it's a very beautiful part of California. We were originally going to use Big Sur, but actually the cliffs are too high there. They're so high that you don't get a proportion between the ocean and the top of the cliff.
Why don't you go down there?
Where I'm going.
Look, this isn't a comic book, Sammy. These guys are brutal killers.
So are the Frog Brothers.
This is right next to Marineland, in case any of you know where that
I'd rather
is.
go down there with you. Them or me.
If something happens down there, I'm not gonna have the strength to protect you.
Well, this time I'll protect you, bud. Even though you're a vampire, you're still my brother.
Listen, just so you know, if you try to stop us or vamp out in any way, then I'll stake you without even thinking twice about it.
Chill out, Edgar.
Yeah, come on.
I definitely think Corey and Jamie were into their roles. And now we're back on Beau's incredible set.
Here's what's wrong, let's stake her, man. Don't you touch her! You stay away from her!
Come on, vampires have such rotten tempers.
Star.
The rest of them gotta be around here someplace. Let's find them.
Star. I'm taking you out of here.
No, take Laddie first, please.
I wanted to feel here that we were going to stick to some vampire traditions, but also try to give you something fresh. So that's what we're leading up to.
Let's go.
I'll be right back, Mike!
I hope.
Come on, Sam, let's go. Move, Alan, move.
Now, this scene called for flies.
We're on the right trail.
All right, so we get a fly wrangler in with all these flies. And we unleash all these flies, which you don't even see in that tunnel. And what happened is they all flew around Warner Brothers, and there were flies on everyone's set for months because they kept hatching eggs and making new flies, and everyone hated us because every time you turn a light on, you know where flies go, right to the light. And so, of course, what made the flies, all you have to do is do a fly sound and have people slapping at their neck, and you've got flies.
Come on!
So, as you all know, vampires are always in coffins. And I just didn't want to do that. So I took the liberty here of deciding that a small pocket in a cave could be a coffin also.
Let's go, guys.
Jesus!
Jesus! Ah! Ah!
And then hung the Lost Boys like vampires. Excuse me, like bats. Of course, like vampires.
It's one giant coffin.
Right now, they're at their most vulnerable. Easy pickings. Remember, you just have to kill a leader, huh? We don't know which one the leader is. I guess we'll just have to kill them all.
We'll start with the little one. First come, first staked.
What was that? A little vampire humor?
Not only did these 13-year-olds have to act and do all this stuff, but they have to light themselves with those high beam lights, too. That's the way they're lighting themselves in the scene.
Good night, bloodsucker.
No!
There goes Alex Winter. And then you have all these kinds of discussions, which are how much blood does a vampire have? What does the blood look like? We put a lot of shiny special effects in the sort of molassesy liquid that was the fake blood. So it would have some gleam in the camera eye. This is kind of a famous face of Kiefer's. It's been on a lot of postcards, a lot of posters, and also there's a huge book of vampire lore that's as thick as the Yellow Pages. And we were very honored because the only photo on the cover of the book is Kiefer as a vampire.
Mike, start the car! Mike! Start the car! Mike! Mike!
We blew it, man. We lost it. Shut up.
I'd actually love to do another vampire movie, but no one's ever brought me a script that I felt we could, be inventive and creative with.
Vampires. Fine, stay here.
We do now.
Yeah.
Come on, Sam, let's get out of here. Burn rubber.
Now, this is where the Corey stopped speaking to me, because
Burn rubber does not mean
the way this is done is the car is on a cable, which almost goes off this huge cliff. So, of course, there are stunt drivers who are small enough to pass for young boys dressed in their costumes,
Take him outside.
driving a car backwards very quickly so that it hangs off the side of that cliff. They thought they were going to do it, Corey and Corey. And when they found out that stuntmen were going to drive it, they were furious with me.
No, Grandpa.
They said, they actually went so far as to say, dude, the only reason we were doing this movie was to do that scene. So we had about a 24-hour where Big Joel was closed out of the Corys.
Time to activate Plan B.
Okay, what's Plan B?
They didn't go on strike, but it was closed.
Come up with one.
Why? What's in 2.5 hours?
The sun will go down. They'll be looking for us.
Mom!
Now, this was a
Mom,
scene
listen, I gotta tell you something. It's
where
real important.
Corey was supposed to run into
Mom, I'm serious.
the video store where Diane works.
Look, Mother,
Just before we started to shoot the first take, he came running over to me and said,
tell someone.
how about I go in on my bike?
Mom, they're coming to the house as soon as it gets dark.
Because if I go in on my bike, it would be really great. And it was a wonderful idea because it made it more invasive. And it also gave Diane some business to do, which was to turn the bike around to get rid of him.
I'm not talking about Max, right? The hell with Max.
And it's why I always listen to actors' ideas. I can't always do them, and they're not always right. But here's a case where a 13-year-old made the scene better.
Good. It's just the way we like it.
This is the back lot of Warner Brothers because no church would let us shoot this scene in it. You can see why.
Grandpa? The widow drops
This film was shot in anamorphic, which some of you may know as scope, or what was called when it was invented cinemascope, which means that it's, you may be seeing it what they call letterboxed, so you're seeing it as a long rectangle. It's a wonderful way to shoot film. So, of course, we're into the big setup for the third act now. In all our haste and lack of time and money, I forgot to shoot, or didn't think of shooting, the vampires about to attack. So soon you'll see what I had to do. So that'll let you know right away how I was kind of vamping, excuse the pun, at this point in my career, because I didn't think I needed this great exit of the Lost Boys. So I used some cuts of the cave that I had. Then I made up these feet, which I thought would be fun if he had these bat-like feet, Kiefer. Used some shots of the boys sleeping, which I had from the other scene that you saw. That's just the insert. This is their entrance to the cave, and I had to use it as an exit because I never had them exiting. And it makes no sense at all because they'd have to be flying backwards, but it did work. And it was very effective for us because I had no other exit of theirs. So for any of you who are making your first films or making student films or want to make films, film is so elastic and plastic, you can fake a lot of stuff and do things. And when you get in the editing room and you feel all is lost, just sleep on it and think harder, because there's always a way out.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I haven't said a word about our great editor, Bob Brown, who definitely made chicken salad out of chicken shit sometimes.
Old memories coming back.
No, seriously, why are you so jumpy tonight?
No, well, it's something, Sam. He came into the store and, it was just a kid's imagination, I'm sure, but he seemed so sincere, but yeah, it's insane.
Tell me. I promise not to laugh. Honest.
This is us back in the exteriors are all Santa Cruz, the interiors are all the set.
When a vampire buys it, it's never a pretty sight. No two bloodsuckers go out the same way. Some yell and scream, some go quietly. Some explode, some implode. But all will try to take you with them.
So here we're setting you up for the ending, telling you what can happen to the vampires, because of course, it's going to happen to them.
Nanook! Let him outside!
Don't go out there, stop him!
Sam!
Sam, come back! No way! Sam, come back! Sam, come back!
Nanook! Come on.
So of course I'm trying to build your tension here for the finale. That's a helicopter shot in Santa Cruz. But the actors aren't looking at anything. I mean, they're making this all up. I know this will come as a shock to you, but there actually aren't people flying in the sky.
Take them upstairs! Come on, go! Come on, move it!
This is all great handheld work. There comes Billy Worth, flying out of the fireplace.
I say we terminate them right now.
We didn't expect some of the jokes to play as well as they did. And there are certain points in the movie where the audience laughed so hard and for so long that I had to actually extend the cuts. One is coming up soon. Brooke is the only Lost Boy I haven't heard from or seen, or I don't know what he's up to. He was a wonderful young actor. And I also think he was a musician. I don't know where he is. So the garlic bath worked, but destroyed the pipes of the house. Okay, it was just worth it to explode a toilet.
Mike.
Coming up is one of the scenes I told you about where we had to extend some footage because the laugh, you missed the second joke because the first joke got such a big laugh, which we didn't expect, that we had to extend it so that people would hear the second joke.
Mike, wake up.
Okay, this is one of the only visual effects shots. That's a green screen with the boys on wires. Just that one shot. You probably can't tell from this scene, but Billy Wirth was a very successful model at 18 and was so handsome.
You miss, sucker.
Still very handsome young man. Well, of course, this was a lot of fun to do, as you can imagine. Okay. This got such a huge reaction that I had to add all these shots because the audience was cheering and they didn't hear Death by Stereo. So all that was added just so we could get the second joke in.
Come on. Are you okay? I nailed one of them downstairs with a bow and arrow.
All right, Sam. Oh. We trashed the one that looks like Twisted Sister.
We totally annihilated his night-stalking ass. Well, then look out the little. We're in the knock. Death to all vampires. Maximum
This is Chance's big moment.
Some monster bastard. The meanest. The baddest.
This is not a film where we stayed very clean, as you can imagine.
Holy shit! It's the attack of Eddie Munster! Get him!
I mean, maybe you don't think these things are funny anymore, but we did at the time.
He's just a little boy.
Yeah!
You know, watching this is like a home movie for me because it brings back so many great memories.
You afraid to face me, David? Huh? Tried to make you immortal. You tried to make me a killer!
You are a killer.
This is the second green screen shot in the film. Just where they meet, just that 1 second where the guys meet. And that was the only ones we could afford.
My turn. Stop fighting me, Michael. I don't want to kill you.
We could not afford to do a lot of fancy visuals, but I think it worked for us because it also gave the actors the sense of reality that everything is happening to them.
Soul is mine!
I promised Jason that he would never have to wear vampire makeup in the movie, but as we worked on the story, it got more and more necessary for him to be damned at this moment, and for Kiefer to die and none of them to be released because, of course, Kiefer was not the head vampire. And so I broke my promise to Jason. And I know he was very angry with me. And he had every right to be, because I had given him my word. But I had to do it for the story. And I know he's forgiven me.
Get away, Sam. Michael, drunk.
I said get away!
What's the big deal? You destroyed the head vampire. It's all over.
Nothing's changed.
He's right, I don't feel any different.
And there's still one more.
Now, in 1987, when the movie came out, most people think it's Grandpa at this point.
Don't let her see any of the bodies.
What the hell is going on?
What happened?
I think we have to have a heavy
Where's
conversation.
Michael?
You should explain this, man.
Listen,
What
wait,
happened
no,
to
I think
your
I should
face?
explain
Mom,
this to you.
what happened to your face?
What's going on Remember here? the food fight Michael and I got into last
This has
year?
nothing to do with the food fight. Okay, I should cover this. I'm the head frog here. Hey, no, I think I should.
It is amazing to me how young everyone is. Of course, they're all still young, because I got to be older.
I hear another word from you until I talk to Michael.
I'm sorry, Lucy. This is all my fault. David and my boys misbehaved. I told you, boys need a mother.
Max, what are you talking about?
I thought this was a very clever idea of Jeff's,
Sam, don't start.
Jeff Boehm, our writer, that the reason that Max
But you passed the test.
wanted Lucy was because she was such a good mother, and he needed a mother for the Lost Boys since he was the father.
Did you know that?
Of course. Everyone knows that.
Has everyone gone crazy here? What's the matter with all of you?
It was you I was after all along, Lucy.
What?
I knew that if I could get Sam and Michael into the family, there's no way you could say no.
Where's Michael?
It was all going to be so perfect, Lucy. Just like one big happy.
I love the idea of Edward doing this role because he just looks like, you know, some suburban dad.
And my boys.
Great. The blood-sucking Brady Bunch.
But I still want you, Lucy. I haven't changed my mind about that.
I didn't invite you this time, Max.
These lenses that Greg created for the makeup are very difficult to wear. They're hard lenses, not soft lenses. And we used a lot of smoke and a lot of wind in scenes, and it really irritates your eyes, and it's very easy for small grains of, any of you who wear contact lenses, you know how easy it is for something to get trapped under the lens. Now, this is one of those directorial moments that I live to regret, because as we sat on this set doing this scene, and I had decided that this black smoke would come out, would pour out of this fireplace. Okay, this was like being trapped in a coal mine for a few days. There was black soot in our pores all over us for days.
You okay? Yeah. Yeah. Right, man, we kicked their ass.
Everybody okay?
Oh, Michael.
Are you okay?
Oh, Michael. Oh, my sons. Oh, my boys.
How much you think we should charge him for this?
Dad.
You know, a lot of times when you get a script, no matter how good it is, it doesn't have a great last moment or a great last line. And for our movie, I think the great Barnard Hughes sort of threw it away and did it beautifully.
One thing about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach. All the damn vampires.
So, needless to say, we had a blast making this. I really want to take a minute to, thank anybody who's suffered through my commentary for hanging in there with me. And I especially want to thank fans of The Lost Boys for all these years, people who have made a cult out of it, who have written to me, who have talked to me at press conferences, and fans who have come up to me at premieres. I grew up behind a movie theater and spent as much time as I could as a kid, and I love movies and always wanted to make them. And if anything I've ever made gives you any pleasure, any entertainment, any fun at all, it is a great privilege. So, hope to see you on the next one, and on behalf of The Lost Boys and our wonderful cast and crew, thank you very much.